0, 1. Let's get started.
Hey, my name is Neil, creator of Charleston Off-Roading, and I'm going to show you guys how to build a DIY coastal off-road weld your own bumper. As you can see, I've ripped my bumper off thanks to scouting out the trails at Overland South. Well, it came halfway off and then I cut it the rest of the way off. These are your mounting points right here. You have 3 bolts, 1 bolt, and then you're going to put a bolt in there to mount the bracket on. I got ahead of myself and welded these 2 triangle pieces together without recording, so I'll be filling this gap in with weld right here and grinding it smooth. Make sure when you weld them that you have a shelf on the inside of both of them, so that way the winch plate can go across in between. To get this plate on, I used this to widen the holes on these, just on the one side, because it wasn't fitting that great. Now I have to take this off so I can get those side pieces on. This is 10 mils. Alright, so I just tack welded this on, put some tacks there, some couple tacks there. Alright, just like it says in your instructions, we're going to add a couple more stitch welds across that, and then I'm going to continue that, continue that full bead all the way down, run a bead all the way down on that side, and then as well on the outside here for full support on the mounting areas. So I was welding, ran out of wire. So I luckily went to this store and picked up another spool. So I'm going to empty this out and keep going. Alright, just finished this bead up. Not bad for flux core. There's a lot of spatter, but flux core is really hot, so it'll keep it together, which is the main goal. So I mounted the bumper back up. I ran a bead just on the top of this, just because I want the extra support. So we'll let that cool down, and then we'll tack the front plate right there on. I'll just mount that right up here. I don't think that looks too bad. It's far from good, good from far. It's gonna be strong, that's all that matters. This side's a little worse. I'm gonna fill it back up as much as I can. when you're welding, you always want to keep it about 1/2 inch long. Okay, pro tip. Don't leave your paperwork with instructions under where you're welding. It'll burn holes in it. Anyway, I forgot that I wasn't recording. So I attached plate 7, this top plate. I used magnets. If you don't have magnets, use those triangle magnets. I have some somewhere around here. Here they are. I have these triangle magnets, and you use those on the inside, and then I use the clamping right here to hold that up into position where I can have a nice edge to fill that with weld. On this side, I did the same exact thing. This bottom piece is kind of tricky. I kind of just held it in place with one hand, tacked it in one spot, and then bent it around to tack the other spots. You do want a little bevel here. I don't know if you can see it, but I beveled that out so that way you can fill it with weld better. All the other ones, there's a big enough gap. But so far it's looking pretty good. Now I will say this is not the first time I've welded, but it's the first time I've welded anything that has to be precise. Like, I've welded this wheelie bar, but that didn't have to be precise. I just made all those cuts. That has to be precise, and you really want it to be even across the line. There's a bad glare, but even across the whole bumper. That way it doesn't look weird. Only a couple more pieces to go, and we're taking it off to fill those welds. So I draped this just so I can run a bead here without taking the bumper off, because I'm old and I don't want to get down on my hands and knees and weld because I don't have a table to weld on. So that's what I'm doing. All right, as you can see, welded the beads on top. I'm probably gonna have to fill it in a couple areas, but you just want it to be solid the whole way, so that way you have a strong bumper. And then I'll add some more support welds on the inside, just in little strips. So I'm almost done. I welded up this side. I have a couple more beads to run on the bottom there, all along that bottom one. Then I'll hit these tops as much as I can. Probably take the bumper off then, finish up all the welds, and then put some stitching on the inside. Whew, that is a heavy bumper. We're going to be welding this, welding that, and then backside. This tray.
It's not welded on?
Well, it is on the back, a couple stitch welds, but I gotta put a couple stitch welds on it here, and then stitch welds on the inside of all these joints.
This part kind of looks like crud.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm gonna grind that all off.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, now we are grinding everything flush. As you can see, flush, flush. That spot is for the bull bar to go on. And haven't really hit these welds yet, but you gotta grind those flush too. Alright, I sprayed it with 2 coats of truck bed liner, and it looks pretty good. You know, not too worried about those welds because they're for strength, not for looks. And this bumper will be rock solid. Just gotta wait till that dries and mount it up.